Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, I am joined by artist and world traveler Aisha Makara. Aisha is from Mongolia. She was orphaned at the age of 2, and now she focuses on motivating, inspiring, and empowering audience to live and breathe in their creative space. So we're going to be talking to her about everything that she's up to and how many countries she's traveled. So Aisha, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Curtin, to have me. And I'm here to share my wisdom and the knowledge with audience and with you.
Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, where I get to start? It's a long story. Like I live like so many different experiences in my life. So sometimes it's like, where I get to start? I start probably from that little girl that get to educate herself to live life without like these ideas that have been created by our society to like what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. And I get to figuring out in my own to understand what's life is, through my own experiences. So I learned by not having parents, it's actually can be good because nobody putting you any kind of like a programs, fears and like that you don't have that that kind of like protection. At the same time, it can be not good because you don't have like a strong like a structure, you don't have like a person that you can look up to as well, like a kind of like a role model. And but it's also like everything is have the the perspective. So I just decided to look from the positive perspective about the thing that happened for me in my life, because life happening for us, not to us, and I'm just feeling like I just turned it around in a completely different way because I felt first maybe as, in the first I was feeling like a victim and, didn't want to create anything. But like one day I had like not easy experience in my life when, I've been in a not good company. I was a teenager and living in a like very far away in the middle of nowhere, right? And at that moment when I was in a not good company, and was we're kids. That was I was expressed like you don't know that it's not good company. Honestly, you just know that it's maybe doesn't serve you and it's not like healthy for you like later in your life. But then when you're in the moment there, you don't understand anything good or not good, or you're just there, and you're just enjoying because you're kind of like feeling of belonging, And I remembering when my friends started to die of different accidents, different things that was happening in my lifetime, in that lifetime. And I remember I was just in one of the funerals and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just like 15. I was between like 15, I think 16. And I was like, oh my gosh, would I survive until 18? And I was thinking about that. And I said to myself, no, I get to go and live my dreams. And I want to travel around the world. I want to go and see all these places and I get to do it now, And so I started to work towards that. And that was, of course, this challenge to work towards that because, you don't have that support from around you. Like in my case, I didn't have any support of the people who can help me to live the dream that I had that time of my life to travel around the world. I want to travel to Rome, to like Geneva, like different, like part of the world that I really wanted to go. And New York was one of them. And And no, everyone said to me, "Oh, you get to work all your life to get there," you know. And so I was believing in that. I was like, okay, I get to work a lot. So I started to work, you know, like taking different jobs here and there, and I feel like that helped me to actually like understand in very early age what life is and what's, you know, like actually appreciate life itself, you know. And I learned from that experience by losing my friends. That time I started to appreciate absolutely everything what I have and who I have in my life. And and it's actually turned in such a like beautiful way because, you know, I got opportunity when I was 21 or 22. I went to New York, and I remembering I've been in Times Square of the New Year, and I remembering this like was like amazing moment of my life when I was in front of this big screen and watching this 59, 58, 57, you know, going down and like Happy New Year. And that was like I already went to all the cities that I want to go, and I already went like I travel already a lot. Like I went to different part of like Europe, and you know, to like, and I realizing that all my dreams can be true or like they are real. I get to continue to dream, and since then I'm dreaming, and you know, I'm living it, I'm enjoying it, and I share to my students and saying to them like absolutely anything is possible. You get to get just have a clarity and trust that you can do it. Believe in yourself, you know, the faith that you can do it. And that's very important to have it, you know, because I feel in our life, nobody will create our dreams. It's our work to do that. And it takes a lot of courage and bravery actually to do that because we're facing a lot of fears, you know, a lot of different programs, and it's not easy to like to go face it and you know and go through them. And it's challenging because some programs are very deep in us because they come from the, you know, from the blood, from our like blood related things. I call it, I connected more like to spirituality right now, but like it's all connected so deep, and some programs is not easy to get out of our mind, you know. And I'm working right now on understanding all these different like programs from our ancestors. And I don't know so much about my ancestors, but like I know that, you know, I did my DNA test, and I know that my ancestor was moving a lot because we are nomads, and that's why probably I'm moving. I love to move around. The point is, everyone has their own idea, the way they want to live their life. And I remembering when I set up my life that time when I was 15, I remembering like I want to live until 60, and I create like the old life that until I'm 60. Now is I used to say to the people, I already have like the way I want to live my life until 200. Maybe I will like extend it to 400. But the thing is like is just to have all these ideas and just enjoy it, you know. More ideas and more dreams you have, I feel, and just enjoy itself because I understood I'm already living a dream, you know. I'm already enjoying my life the way it is. I want to, you know, add extra like routines, I call like extra habits, you know. And at the same time I feel I'm already living my dream. I'm already accomplished so many amazing things, so many dreams in my life. So that's I'm feeling so powerful and so inspired by what I already done and how much I can do, you know. And I'm giving myself like break, right? I'm saying to myself like, you know, it's not about like just go 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 all the time. It's about enjoying it, enjoying the life itself, you know, learning to really enjoy myself in this life. And you know, it was challenging. I just started this like last year, and it's been like I face a lot of things that I'm very hyper, and I take a project that I don't need to take sometimes, and I'm feeling like, why I'm doing it to myself, So it's very good to learn about who we really are by facing all of these challenges for real, like really face them with gratitude and attitude, and say like, yes, I can do it. Yes, it's something that I want to do, and understand that life brings so many different experiences, and it's great. Look at all these experiences as an opportunity to learn something from that, as a blessing, any experience. Because in the end of the day, it's not about good and bad, it's about experience itself, and how we deal with all of this, and who we are, who we became. Like, because I feel like we're shaping ourselves through the life. And I believe like by overcoming our challenges, this is how we create ourselves, and like real ourselves, like a structure ourselves, our like beliefs, our values, our principles. And I feel that's matters, for us, first of all, and that's a process. And more I'm talking to the people about their values, about their principles, about, the beliefs that they have, and clarity in their life, or the way they want to design the life. Not so many people have that. I am realizing not so many people have the idea, the way they want to live the life. And I always have the ideas, I always have like the way I want to set up everything, the way I want to like organize my day or my week, my months. And because I feel I'm feeling way more like comfortable with that, and also like I also put myself in an uncomfortable situation as well. But the thing is, it takes me time to kind of adapt to the uncomfortable situations, and I'm feeling like how I can, face it more in a joyful way, my uncomfortable situation that I have in my life, and appreciate them as well. Because when we have this uncomfortable situation, I feel like this is how we're real grounding ourselves and growing for real, That's one of the things. And also very important, I started to work on my ground rules right now for myself, because I'm feeling like more I'm working with my ground rules, and more I'm like respecting my own ground rules. I'm feeling way more grounded, like for like as an adult. I'm feeling myself, I'm like I'm an adult right now, and it's great to flow around, and it's also great to feel ground, That's like general answer who I am right now and what I learned so far about myself.
Okay, well, tell us about you are also an artist, and you've even sent your work out of space. So talk about that.
Let's take a quick break.
Okay, everybody, it's Michael E. Cullen II.
And I'm Sesame and Carta from the All Too Real 2 podcast. We're passionate about movies, TV, and pretty much all things pop culture.
Dive into the chaos of failed sitcoms, direct-to-video sequels, and the quirky realms of cinema and TV.
Join us every Thursday for your dose of All Too Real 2 entertainment.
We'll guide you through debates like whether Howard the Duck qualifies as a superhero.
Ponder if Larry the Cable Guy could be the new Rock or Schwarzenegger.
Discover if some shows and movies should have stayed in the cutting room.
Ever heard of a sitcom featuring that dictator with the funny mustache? Well, we watched it.
We're dedicated to unraveling the peculiarities of pop culture, sometimes with awesome guests.
So, if you're into the eccentric world of pop culture,
listen and subscribe to All Too Real 2.
Available wherever you find podcasts
and on Age of Radio.
Well, I started to work with kids because I was doing art as a hobby. I never like that point in my life. When I was in my 20s, I felt like art is just my hobby. I'm doing it in my own flow when I feel. And when I moved to Miami, some of my friends, like new friends that time, said to me, "Why not you like started to do art full time?" Because it was easy, it was easy. People buying my art, it was easy to sell, and I was like, it's kind of in my mind. It was like it's not work. It's just it's like you're just playing. And I started to do that, and I started to work with kids. I started to work with adults, like giving the art classes, and just like it was mostly about creative thinking and free flow. Every time I'm giving opportunity to people to like think different and create something like what they want, not like being like here is the bouquet, like here's the flower like like a draw the flower. It was always like a free flow. So I started to work with kids. When I started to work with kids, it was a very interesting process because kids are very creative and they're always in the moment, and they're so curious about absolutely everything. And I remember coming with this idea of sending my art to the space. I first I was deciding like to send my art to Elon Musk, to Jeff Bezos, and to Richard Branson myself. Like I created art for them, I painted, I send it by mail to the offices, and with a letter, asking them. I asked Elon Musk to send my art to the space. I asked Richard Branson to paint one of his rockets. And I asked Jeff Bezos to send me to the space, to do art in the space. And and I was just let it go. I just sent my art. I did a video. I told somewhere on YouTube, and I remember like by doing it, I was just like, okay, let's dream big. That was in my mind. It was like I'm dreaming big. That's what some American dream about. Dreaming big. And I forgot, like I forgot I continued to live my life, like enjoying it, and everything was great. And I remembering when in 2022 I accomplished my dreams. Like one of my dreams was being an artist in Art Basel, and so I ended up in Art Basel, in the local. I've been like selected to one of the artists, and so like I realized that all my dreams is like being real more and more, like even like even when I don't pay so much attention or like pay attention to the things I'm living my life, it's like happening like naturally. And so I was lost after this. I was like, I don't know what I want next, because if I'm like, for me that time was like to sending my art to the space was like a dream, but like I knew that it's going to happen in some point of my life. I just didn't know when, and I remember I started to work with a crypto. I was in the crypto community and Bitcoin, and did a lot of conferences, events, and showing up in all these different gatherings and network events and bringing my art there. Sometimes I was selling, like sometimes you don't sell anything. And I remember I was doing this big event with Russians and with like many different group of people, and I remembering that what happened is like everything was set. I was parking my van. I was living in a van that time. I was like totally hippie, and they become like very like hippie, completely like independent, completely like living my own flow, living like very happy, like eating just fruits. And I'm feeling like was so healthy, like I have my morning routines, and I was like living my best life in that moment, like I was deciding like, okay, I'm in my van, I'm going to travel for 6 months. That was one of my like kind of ideas to do, and I decided to do that. And so I went to north of Florida. I was like probably traveling for like 4 months, and I come back to Miami. And I remember I was doing this event, parking my van on the, on the site. And one of the days somebody broke in my van, but everything was stolen. Absolutely everything. My old documents, my bank cards, my phones, my laptop, all my life was gone, And I was like sitting there, and I feel like, wow, what I'm going to do next. That's, it's crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's just so crazy. I, I went to look for my stuff, like, in the nearby, a different, like, trash, garbage, in the garbage, but I didn't find anything. And I remember, like, I was feeling like, wow, that's the opportunity. I get to work through this. I shouldn't, I don't need to, be sad about that or upset. I get to kind of like let it go. And the part of the let it go was not easy at all, and I feel like, um, when this happened, instead to let it go, I kind of like got a little bit upset, a little bit like, down. I like isolate myself completely. And I remember, I get to ask for support, and that was not easy for me to ask for support. And so I end up in the community, and after this community, like, of hippies, and we started to kind of like travel from festival to festival. And one of these, like, a friends, hippies friend, who's also artist, she sent me this application, like, oh, it's your dream, because I was sharing about my dreams with everyone. And she said to me, oh, go and apply, maybe they will choose you, so I applied. I just apply. I send them like just like a application form first. I didn't send my art and anything like that. I probably sent some of my old art pieces or something. And after I went to the interview, they sent me email back. I went through the interview. They asked me to create a new artwork, like connected to the Pioneer 10 of the, like, 50 years ago. That's a project. That's why they selected 50 artworks. And what happened is I applied, and they asked me to send them 8 artworks, but I didn't have any tools, nothing. I didn't have money. I didn't have tools. I just started a little bit, I want to save money for my documents, just like go and apply for that. I didn't have anything, no money, nothing. And I was like, how am I going to do that? I didn't have phone. And I was always asking for people to to log into my, email, log into my Instagram, like, was mess, and but I was willing to go extra mile. I call it like this. And I instead to give up, I remember we being in a festival, and I already passed the deadline, and I sent them my artwork, but they said to me it's not the right format that I sent to them. And I was in a festival. It's not like easy to find a place where you get to like put the things together. There was no internet, nothing, like I get to go and find internet, ask someone to upload this again, and like doing my art on the way by working in the same time, doing so many. It was so much going on, but I was kind of like focusing that, yes, maybe my art will be like they choose my art, but I don't know. I couldn't create like 8 pieces. I create 3 pieces, and I sent it to them, and they selected 2 of them, and they engraved it in the golden plates, and they sent it to the space with a SpaceX, and so I become, space artist somehow. But that was one, like, it was my dreams. That's why I was continue to like moving towards that. And many of my friends, I shared the same application with so many of my artist friends that time. And I said, you get to apply. Nobody did it. Nobody applied, and because that, the funny thing is with me, every time when something is connected to my dream, like I know that it's something like I want to do because this is what I want to live. I'm doing this extra job, like applying, writing, explaining, doing like extra things. Even so, it was my own words. I'm not like, my English is like so, but like I'm always improving, doing my best to improve. And I'm just feeling like every time when I see the opportunity that connected to my dream life or like to my next dream, I take it. I do my best to take it, at the same time, I decided like in life, everything is happening in a natural flow. And when this opportunity is coming, it's up to us to take them or not. In reality, not so many people can see these opportunities. And because they're so busy being busy, Even so, I remembering I've been super busy, stressed out, and nobody can take me, like nobody wanted to hire me because I didn't have any documents at all. And I was explaining, like, honest what happened to everyone. And some people will take advantage of it. Some people will, kind of like nice. And I meet like so many different, by being so vulnerable in that moment of my life, I learned who's who, and the way they treat you and the way people are. And I was very like sad that people treat each other, with so much abuse and so like it was not easy experience, for me to actually being in that vulnerable position. But the thing is, the beauty of it, that I learned better more about who I am, the way I am, and I feel like by by having a boundaries and having a values and principles, it matters, and that's was not easy. Like I was by that experience, I know that people don't have that, and that was also a sad experience for me, like because sadness cannot go without happiness, But the thing is like in that moment of my life, everything kind of like flow together, all the colors, or like I call like love is everything. Love has dark colors and love has light colors, and everything is love. And that's why I communicate with the world. I say, like, what? Everyone wants to give you love. But the thing is, they're just giving the love the way they know, like, like being scary and, like beating up the kids or like screaming or yelling at them. It's love. And they're doing it for the love perspective. But the thing is like, it's just from their perspective, So love is absolutely all of it. That's we get to purify it, and it takes time to like purify it and create it more gentleness around it, and and get clarity what is being gentle, what it is to be gentle towards myself. This is what I'm learning right now. I mean, like what it is to be gentle towards myself, what it is not like rushing things, what it is to like not like moving, I got to go and live my next dream, what is about like just enjoying all of it now and not like pushing myself towards like this and that. Just let experience itself like in a natural and harmonical, like a harmony, living in this balance and harmony. And it takes time to develop even this within ourselves.
Well, throw out your contact information so people can keep up with everything that you're up to, because we're almost out of time.
Well, I would like, I have my website. It's Aisha.today. It's AISHA.today. And where you could book the time with me. I have a mentorship program, and I have my book published on Amazon. You can find it Amazon Joyful Living Guidebook by Aisha Makara, where you can see my art and some recommendation of joyful living. That is, about me, like where you can find me right now.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, Aisha.today. Please check out everything that she's up to. She's traveled to 60 countries. She's really got a lot of experience. So check her out, follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible. Jump on your favorite podcast app, follow us, review, share the show. If you have any guest or suggestion topics, Curtis Jackson 1978 at att.net is the place to send them. Thank you for listening and supporting the show. And Aisha, thank you for sharing your story and all that you do. And thank you for joining us.
Joyful living, namaste.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.